Hi, so I'm Gian, and for my mini lecture for Chapter 6, my topic is going to be to describe the sensory receptors in the skin that provide tactile sensory information to the CNS, or the central nervous system. So to start, the sensory receptors that are found in the skin are also known as tactile receptors. And since they're found in the skin, they provide feedback about things like texture or how things feel, pressure, vibration, grip, and so on and so forth. So, a practical application of touch in the context of motor control could be found when playing basketball. So, when you're playing basketball, you use these tactile sensations when shooting a ball or, say, passing it to a teammate, since you're basically determining how the ball feels in your hand at the point of release. And you could also see this with musicians when they feel the keys of, say, a piano or the strings of a guitar. And it's also important to note that the skin is divided into layers, which includes the epidermis, which is the upper layer, the dermis, which is the layer below that, and the hypodermis, which is the bottom layer. And mechanoreceptors are the receptors within the skin in the dermis portion that give the CNS info about pain, movement, and temperature, with the highest concentration of them being in the fingertips, which explains why our fingertips are so sensitive. Now, there are different types of mechanoreceptors that are involved in tactile sensation, starting with the Meissner's corpuscle. This Meissner's corpuscle senses stimuli like those received from touch and pressure very rapidly. And this is in part of them being more superficial or closer to the epidermis or the skin surface. And the difference between that and the Merkel's corpuscle is that the Merkel's corpuscle, it adapts lower to touch and pressure. And they're also a little bit deeper and smaller than the Meissner's corpuscle. Pacinian corpuscles are up next, and even though they might be deeper relative to the first two, they're also rapidly adapting mechanoreceptors that have a globular head structure. And they provide info about vibration and deep pressure, which is stimulated by, say, something like those vibrating massage guns or Theraguns that a lot of athletes use for rehab or whenever they're on the bench for their sport. And the last corpuscle is Ruffini's corpuscle. And this corpuscle has like an oval shape to it, and it's a slowly adapting mechanoreceptor that provides info about the stretching of skin. And free neuron endings are also involved in tactile sensation and are still found in the dermis. And they're basically slowly adapting nociceptors and itch receptors, as well as thermoreceptors, which detect temperature changes like touching a hot surface, and they're also mechanoreceptors. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for listening.